matchmakers. Note, none left. But it does say on the packaging it's 20% less packaging. I like matchmakers. That's why there's none left. Once I've opened the packet, I have to eat them all. It's one of those things. But the 20% less packaging there, I wonder if there's 20% less contents. They didn't say 20% less packaging, therefore 20% less content. I don't know if there is. And I can't have anything to substantiate the fact that there's less content. Anyway, it's I do like matchmakers, but I just noticed that on the front. I thought I'd throw an alternative out there. This vlog is about a couple who emigrated to the UK in order to find somewhere to live, and they've decided to live on a narrowboat. They came across with £300 and 2 bags, and they found an old boat. It was an old working boat, which was an old butty, 72 foot, and it's been chopped up and made into a boat which is decidedly shorter. And it's almost a love story, and I like love stories. I you know, as you know, I do like those sort of things. And it's a great little story because it's about recycling, repurposing, doing something that's beneficial to themselves at cost, and just making everything great for them. What can you not like? Run the intro, run the VT. That's an interesting boat. Quite like it, although it's got big windows, and big windows means in the winter time it's a bit cold. There's all sorts of boats here, and I've come to have a look at this one. This boat belongs to Paul and Veronica, and they've bought for a princely sum of, well, let's say it's under £5 a boat that was needing love, attention, care. It needed a new home, and they're doing it up. And it's an old, well, is it a historic boat? No, it's not, but it's a very old boat, and it was put together by rivets and things and welding and stuff, and was 72 foot long when it was designed at birth, and now it's 48 foot. I'm not sure how that happens. Maybe the front's sawn off and the back's sawn off. We'll let Paul and Veronica discuss that, but let's see what's it like on the inside. I'm here with Paul and Veronica, and this is their home to be. Thanks very much for asking me to come to your home for me to have a chat with you, in short. Thank you.
You're welcome. We really enjoy your vlogs, and if there's anybody that we wanted to welcome to our home, it was definitely you, Chris.
So kind. So tell me about what's the name of the boat? What is it? A narrowboat. It was an old working boat.
It was.
So what's the history?
You want to start?
We can do. So Yayo is the name of the boat.
Okay.
The history that we got on the boat is that she is an old butty working boat, and that she comes from the Black Country originally. She was dated back to 1938. That's the information that we were given on the remainder of her hull that she has left, which is just the middle part of the hull. The stern and bow were both cut down. That took her from her original 72 foot to the 48 foot that she is now. Unfortunately, we can't get any documentation or any license numbers or anything like that on her.
We've got license number, but we don't know if that's an old ones or what she's registered at the moment.
They can't find any like real history on her because the gauge plates that she would have originally had that would have all of her history were lost when they cut her back to the size that she's at now.
And do you know why they cut her back?
I think she was just past the working date. So I think they used what they could of the best steel that was left.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if there's another one from this, but as far as I know, this is the only part that's remaining.
Okay. You're clearly not from the UK. Well, you may have been originally, but you've got a South African accent. You've come across from South Africa. Is there a bit of a backstory on that?
Yeah, we come from South Africa. Veronica's father is British, so we eventually immigrated. So he came back here to England to basically retire and also to see his family.
What do you think of sunny UK?
Now we love sunny UK. So there's many things that we love about England. We love the people. We love the fact that the seasons are very clear in the UK. In South Africa, as beautiful as what it is, you get summer, medium summer, very summer. Whereas in England, you clearly can see it's autumn, it's winter, it's spring. We love the history of England. I love the fact that the Industrial Revolution is very prevalent on the canals. That just because you're old doesn't mean that you need to be discarded. And that's one reason why we want to live on the canals. And the fact that my father was born during the Second World War, and growing up with him in South Africa, he spoke so fondly of England and the Industrial Revolution and what machinery meant and how it went from horses to machines, and really I find that fascinating. So Yayo encapsulates the entirety of our lives, I think.
No, do you know what? No, I get it, because we're all going through the recycling regime, and essentially that's what you've done to this boat. It's been recycled.
Basically, yeah.
You've not bought a new boat. Well, I'm guilty of that. But you've recycled this, and 48 foot.
I think it's got exactly what we need.
But do you know what? That's great, isn't it? There's two of you. It's I can see your bedroom. This would clearly be your bathroom. Living room stroke kitchen and massive engine room.
Yes.
We'll have a look at that in a bit. And understandably hasn't got an engine in it yet, but I know you've got one which you're going to...
It's been repaired, rebuilt from scratch. So we actually, the original engine was beyond repair. Well, I won't say beyond repair. It was too cost effective to repair.
Yeah.
And luckily my son found us an old stationary engine, Lister CE, which we can use as spares to rebuild the original engine. So hopefully it'll cost us a lot less.
Again, recycling.
It is that, but we ourselves are being recycled, aren't we? And being remade into a life that for us will be far more purposeful and far less wasteful, because not only is it just about using what you have around you, but it's like we spoke about earlier, Chris, of really being present in the moment and being so grateful and thankful for the time that you've got and putting importance on what you define as important. And for Paul and I, it's this time really, hey?
I think this is the first time that I can say that we really feel at home.
And is that feel at home because you're used to the UK weather as well, or feel at home because, do you know what, this is now your home that you've chosen, or Yeo has chosen you, not sure which one, and sometimes there's a symbiotic.
I think she chose us actually.
But isn't that with your skills, Paul? Clearly you're putting those skills to good use. But this is your chosen home. So is that the reason why you think you feel at home?
In part of it, yes. Veronica's dad is British, so he has come home, and I think in a sense, home for Veronica is also Britain.
And the journey from South Africa to England for us was a great challenge in ticking all the boxes and the bureaucracy that had to be met. And that meant me being here without Paul for 2.5 years. It meant me being here without the kids for 8 months. It then meant moving 11 times in 3 years, and the process of all of that to come to Yeo, that was a broken down boat, discarded in devices, and, our children working alongside us to create this boat. That includes the children-in-laws. To make it into a home, it's almost as though everybody has come home with Yeo. We never experienced any kind of hostility or, they're very, everybody's been really very encouraging. Paul.
Is Yeo the only boat you saw? Did you?
Yeo was found. She was found by our son Michael.
Yeah.
Because we put a little thought in his head that said, maybe we should buy and live on a narrowboat. But we never imagined that we would ever be able to afford one. The restoration that was needed, she had to completely be gutted and built up literally from the hole up. And I think people just thought that they don't have the finances or they don't have the skill set. And we just fell in love with her straight away, hey Paul?
Oh. Because it's still old steel, it's, what they would
very thick.
5/16, which is close to 8 mil thick. The whole end base plate, which you don't get in modern boat builds.
Well, base plate is 10, isn't it? The sides of mine are 6.
And the top is 4.
Yeah.
So this one at the moment is 8 all round, and the top is 3 mil.
Okay.
I went with 3 mil because I think 4 mil is just a bit of overkill for what it is.
And saves you a few pennies.
It does.
It did, absolutely.
A lot of pennies.
And you know what? If you're doing it yourselves and you've discussed finances, you come here with £300, I think you said?
Yeah. Yeah, I arrived in the UK with £300 and a couple of bags. And in the 10 years we've been here, we never ever thought that we knew we would never ever be able to buy a house. I'm 54 years old, and 10 years ago I was 44, and I arrived with 300 quid. I didn't have any kind of uppy on the laddy kind of situation. But we just, all the houses we stayed in, Chris, people would often remark and say, as lovely as what it is, we never ever settled. We never completely unpacked the boxes. We never hung up the pictures. We never, normal woman will choose a colour for their bedroom and go and buy the duvet and the curtain. I never did any of that. I would just get the scraps of whatever anybody had, because I never found anything that was my heart. Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
So the boat for me is really our heart, honestly.
That's quite sweet, actually, isn't it? You moved 11 times in order to upgrade. I assume to upgrade your life.
Or to find a place to be.
And you've chosen
a boat.
Do you know what? This is 48 foot of boat. How big's that engine bay? It's got to be 8 foot.
3 meters. 8 foot, about,
Yeah, so it's not a bad cuff. I'm quite good at cuffing lengths now.
You are actually, yeah.
Yeah, so your galley is not too dissimilar in length to mine. What sort of stuff are you having in your galley?
We've got drawer units.
Yeah.
2 cupboards.
A gas hob.
Sink unit. And then in a corner there we'll have the fridge or freezer either on the top, freezer at the bottom. And
are you going 12 or 20 or 240?
240. I know, we need a big inverter.
Well, I'm thinking, here's me now discussing my own homework. I don't know how you're going to live, but I have turned my freezer off in the winter because it uses just too much electricity.
Have you got 12 or 230?
230.
Okay.
So freezer, I would argue. Now, I originally wanted a 12-volt freezer, but then I thought, getting lithium, why not go 230?
Actually, maybe now we'll consider that, really.
Because I have to turn mine off.
That's rewiring again.
Oh, but you've got a 12-volt ring, surely?
I do. Lights and voltage pumps.
Oh, do you know what decision's been made then, isn't it?
It has, apparently.
But my power supply, my box, utility box there is just around the corner there. I might just run a 12-volt just for in case.
After talking to you, Chris.
Sorry. I've caused you a whole load of pain now.
No, that's fine.
I think that's a good thing.
I've got the electrician here in the marina, so I can call him up.
Get him back.
Now I've got a 550 amp hour battery, and it uses 25% of that overnight.
Wow.
Because it's not just the fridge, the freezer, it's the inverter.
Yeah, because the inverter also uses power.
Something for you to consider.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, Veronica. You thought it was going so well.
Going according to.
So are you washing machine in?
No.
No, I'm just going to get one of those little
Twin tops.
twin tubby things. Yeah.
And at the moment, my engine room is getting smaller because I still need to put heaters in there.
What sort of heater?
I'm just doing a Webasto hotly.
Right.
I'm not doing the calorifier.
Okay. So how you doing the hot water?
Gas.
You asked an interesting question of could I live on this boat? Because we worked out the length of this boat from galley to 2-bedroom. That would fit in my saloon. So yes, my boat is substantially larger, double what your interior space is, essentially.
Yeah.
Could I live on this boat? And the answer is,
He's not sure.
if it was just me, yes. If it was me and someone else, I think it would take a special someone else to live in a small space. But the fact is...
So you're telling us that we are that someone special?
You are special to each other, because, and I think you mentioned this at the very beginning, this is your home. And you've chosen this, or Yao has chosen you, and you've got that symbiotic love affair with this boat.
We do, and with each other, Chris.
There we go.
And that creates like a whole triune, doesn't it?
Of course.
And that's exactly why it works.
And you've chosen this. I think if I was to live on this and someone was to choose me,
you would move.
I would probably.
How much stuff have you got that you don't use?
I don't.
No, Chris has only got stuff that he uses. But
I seem to have an awful lot of stuff.
But that's not wasteful then, is it really? It's
No.
things that you do actually need. We just don't need a lot of stuff. People get frustrated when they come round to the house. We invite them for dinner because they have 4 plates, and you've invited 8 people.
So you have 2 sittings?
No,
I do. And
all paper plates.
And then they just say to me, why don't you just get more stuff? But I think, you know what, Chris, to be perfectly honest with you, we didn't know where we were going, but we can tell you that we have arrived.
Canal life is a slower life, and you're in nature. You're not in this concrete jungle where everything just goes by you, and you rush to go to catch up with that stuff that goes past you.
I think it's great. You've upcycled a boat. You've upcycled your life. You've not become materialistic.
No.
So that lady that asked me a question, and one of the questions that really, for me, hit home was, if you had a bucket list, how many of those parts have you succeeded, or what's left, or what is on your bucket list?
I think that absolutely everything has been ticked. Does that sound like it's an unbelievable statement to make?
Well, it depends on how diverse your bucket list is. I mean, I don't want to go to the moon.
No, but we've lived such a big life to get here, Chris.
Oh, yes.
No, and we have faced so many challenges and cried so many tears, and we never ever thought we would be in a place of such joy and calmness. I know that might just sound like really untrue, and we're not going to get political or anything, but there's lots of challenges in South Africa. And lots of people arrive in the UK looking for a calmer life, we'll put it that way. So presenting all those challenges that we faced in South Africa, we never thought we would have the privilege of living in this time and this space.
Well, do you know what? That's quite heartwarming, actually. I think we take for granted living in this country. If you've not been anywhere else.
No, absolutely.
I've only stayed in other people's countries to do work and go on holiday, and on holiday is nothing.
No.
It's completely it's a dream world.
No, it's catered for the tourist wherever you're
absolutely.
going.
Yeah. But for you to come from how long were you in South Africa?
I was born.
Fair while.
I was born in South Africa. So I'm 54 and I've been in the UK for 10 years. So
a fair while. 4 decades that you can remember. Do you know what? For people to come over here, maybe that's why everybody wants to come here.
That is the reason why.
It's not easy giving up your life to move to another country.
No,
it's like
that's a ballsy move.
It's like school kids finishing school and now he's got to start his life. That's what we had to start all over, from 40 odd years.
Yeah. So and being a businessman back in South Africa,
it's giving all that up. It's not easy.
No.
That's truly inspirational, actually. And they're big hatches as well, so
they are nice and big. Yeah.
You can get your white goods in those.
I was thinking about the white goods, and when I built the back hatch as well, I was thinking about the engine coming in and out.
Yes.
So I built it big enough for the engine to come out.
And you know what? Those are things I think are critical, because you can't change them.
No, you can't.
Those are if you don't think about those at the beginning, forget it.
Yeah.
And you both look happy with your decision making. There's been no sort of no disagreements.
No, because I completely and absolutely trust Paul with my whole life.
Well, yeah, that's a fair shout.
And he knows exactly what I need. And he understands my disease, and he knows how high I need things, how I need things to feel, how things need to feel to my touch. And that's been remarkable, actually, because when I come into a space, he will say to me, have a feel, have a look. So, and I'll feed him, so it works well.
So yeah, the boat is basically built around Veronica. not around me, because I know what she needs, and
that's very nice. Actually, it's good. Yeah.
So I didn't build this boat for us. Build it for her.
Hey mate, you're winning hearts all over the place here, aren't you?
I wouldn't know, but no, that's how I feel, you know. And
oh, thank you, love.
It's a privilege.
Oh, thank you. It's an amazing wedding anniversary gift.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Hey?
All sloppy still.
Yeah, lovely. If you're on Instagram, you can follow Paul and Veronica on, I'll link it below, but it's yayo_the_historic_narrow_hull. Yeah, they Instagram. Good for them. And I think it's a success story, and I think it's great. I think it's very brave that they both left a country that they knew very well, successful business, and they left it to enter our shores and add value to how we do business over here. And I think there's lots of learning that can happen, cross-transferable skills and all that sort of stuff. So that's it for this week. I don't want to waffle on too much. Next week, a bit of movement, perhaps. Well, there is a bit of movement. I'm moving. Not now, but will be tomorrow. And there we go. And Christmas time is approaching. But until then, thanks for watching, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. Those of you that have, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider it. And I'll do my best to keep you entertained. But until then, ciao, Papa.